We interrupt the normal schedule to take a live satellite feed of the 24-hour cable news channel CNNNN.
But as long as audiences are laughing, there'll be no shortage of work for the world's favourite comedy act. I'm Simon Tajay in Pakistan.
Light on the details so you can slam it down fast. This is CNNNN.
You're back with us live, and Chris, you're still looking a little weary after the arias on Tuesday night.
Well, look, I've pretty much just come here straight from the after party, and I tell you what, that is the last time I ever go out drinking with Nikki Webster. She is out of control, that girl. But no, look, I thought it was a fantastic night.
Oh, wasn't there a great spirit in the room? Virtually the whole industry coming together to sign that petition in support of John Farnham's decision never to perform again.
Well, Silverchair's Daniel Johns signed it twice. I mean, it almost killed him, but that's how strongly he felt.
But look, I think Australian music really just came of age on Tuesday night.
Absolutely. And when you think of all the great stars, from Kylie to Jason, Craig McLachlan, Natalie Imbruglia, Holly Valance, what's the one thing they've all got in common?
They've all slept with Lenny Kravitz.
Well, there's that, and they all got their start on Neighbours. Virtually everyone who's been on that show has gone on to enjoy mega pop stardom. Everyone except one, that is. I mean, the very person who, more than anyone else in the cast, oozes pop star potential.
Well, CNNNN's Charles Firth went along to the arias to address this shocking oversight.
For years, one soapy star has been overlooked by the recording industry, despite his obvious mega-star potential. He is, of course, Harold from Neighbours. So we're here at the arias to kick-start his music career. Everyone else from Neighbours gets a recording contract, right?
They do.
Except for Harold. He's left behind.
I don't know why.
Why is that?
It's a mystery because he's got more talent than all of us rolled into one little fingernail.
Why did you get the recording contract and Harold didn't?
I don't know. I think they're all mad.
Harold, join the Wiggles, man. We need you.
Do you want me to speak to my people?
Would you?
And they can speak to your people and we can hook it up?
What can we improve about Harold? Obviously, he's got incredible raw talent.
I think Harold's got a bit of flavour happening.
A flavour.
Well, he's definitely going to have to strip a few layers off.
Oh, really? So
I don't know about that.
show a bit of bum, maybe?
No.
Yeah, come on. I've got a rump.
How do we get Harold getting a recording contract?
He's got no chance. I don't even want to hear the demos.
Well, he doesn't need any help with fashion sense. He's there.
I mean, look at this hair. Mine's only about half that.
Maybe
fantastic.
Harold could be the front man for In Excess. Get rid of John Stevens.
I reckon he looks fantastic.
So you reckon Harold's going to be the next Holly Valance?
Yeah.
How do we make him the next you?
The nude film clip
Yeah?
without the strobes of light, so you're going to
So you see full
everything.
nipple?
Is that all right? Yeah.
Full nipple.
They have to be pierced as well.
You've been causing a bit of controversy today. Do you think that would help his career a bit?
Yeah, cause controversy.
How do I do it?
Cause someone to
Would it be possible to get you to sort of be romantically linked together?
yeah.
Do you think that'd help his career?
It'll probably help my career too.
I think it's a good idea. You know, you're a rising star. It'll help Sophie
You could
out.
break my heart.
But can Harold be your love child?
No, not me. Her my glove.
Oh, yeah, it'd have to be the other way around. Yeah.
Yes.
Are there any benefit gigs coming up that he could be part of for you?
Yeah, I'm doing one for him.
Oh, wow.
A hopeless case, so, obviously we've got to try and get behind him.
Very kind of you.
Thank you very much.
Recognition at last for Neighbours' most nubile.
He looked hot.
Later this hour, tips for home detention. We talk interior design with Aung San Suu Kyi.
CNNNN. More ends than any other network.
I'm Fungry. Fungry's introduces the all-new Pickle Burger. 2 delicious pickles on an all-gherkin patty. All topped off with our special pickle sauce. Plus, for a limited time only, try our Pickle Tower combo. 5 large juicy pickles in a sesame seed bun. Large French pickles and a thick pickle shake. 1 cent from every meal goes to Fungry House to help sick children. Yet another reason why...
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Tonight on A Chaser Affair, the conman builder whose kitchen germs are making our kids obese. Now he wants welfare. Plus, fat kids ripping off the system. First they spread kitchen germs, now they're Lebanese. And the miracle diet that's turning our fat kids into doll cheats. And why these Lebanese builders don't want to know. A shocking story no parent can afford to miss. That's A Chaser Affair, tonight at 9 on CNNNN.
To London now, where we're joined once again by our resident royal watcher, Simon Target.
Good morning, Craig. Forgive me if I'm a bit short of breath. I've just been shooting with the Queen. Fabulous shot, Her Majesty. Butchered a whole family of badgers today. Marvellous. Amazingly fit lady. It wouldn't surprise me at all if she outlived her mother. May she rest in peace.
So, Simon, what news then on the royal front? We're hearing reports here that Prince Harry might be moving down under.
Prince Harry, yes. Finished school, but he's still a bit of a scamp. Can't get him off the wacky tobacco, can't get him off the women. But I think the solution is a good one. He's going to live in Australia for the next year.
Well, with the impending arrival of Prince Harry in Australia, Simon Target joined the royal advance party to prepare for his visit.
Prince Harry. He's royal, he's finished school, and he's coming to Australia to live for a year. Like all young Englishmen visiting Australia, Prince Harry will be staying in a backpackers' hostel. But is this hostel ready for His Highness? Right, so this looks like the royal bedchamber in which Prince Harry will be staying. I mean, it's not 100% regal, but, you know, there are a couple of things we could actually change. These taps seem to just be water, Kian. Is that the case?
Yes.
You don't have a gin tap around here somewhere?
Right now.
Ah, dear. Would you mind installing one for us before he gets here? I wonder, Kian, could I get you to just practice rolling this out?
Of course, mate.
You see, princes don't enter buildings that don't have red carpets in front of them. They feel intimidated. How would you like to be officially appointed royal concubine to His Highness Prince Harry? I mean, would that suit you? Would that be fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good. So you fancy a regular serving of royal sausage?
Yeah, okay.
Is that good? Okay, that's excellent, because you will get to dine on Buckingham beef every night, I can assure you. That's marvellous, yes. Yes, good morning, Your Highness, you might wish to add. We brought this along, now we can't have it out on the street, you understand, Kian? Yep. That's it, just go through, Fitman, excellent. Because these things are an absolute bugger to reverse park. Look, I'll show you the kind of thing he eats. Thank you, Ralph. First of all, the fillets of venison. He's very fond of those. We have brought some otter, and you will have to always make sure that, in particular, the otter is stocked up, as well as the swan. Thank you, Ralph. This is the ermine toilet paper. This is typically used to wipe the royal ring. Oh dear. Kian, this will not do at all, I'm afraid. It's far too cold. Far too cold. You see, Prince Harry does have royal buttocks. Right. And they do require a nice warm temperature. Fine. However, I'll show you what they do back in the palace in order to fix that, all right? Yep. Now, you're going to have to do this every time Prince Harry has a royal movement in preparation, okay? If you don't mind. Yep. I'll help you with it. We just have to breathe all over the toilet seat. Okay? Yep. Just in a subservient sort of way. If you don't mind, you start on this half, I'll do this one. Hey, you doing it for Prince Harry, all right? Yes. It's not so bad. Oh, God. There it is, Kian. Now, this is Prince Harry's personal royal bong. Now, you do understand we did investigate your colonial bongs, but they all seemed to be made out of plastic drink bottles and so forth, so they weren't entirely suitable, so we brought Prince Harry's own straight from the palace. Princes, they bathe in ass's milk, you understand? Right. Do you have an ass's milk shower? Not one just out the back or something for guests? No? Well, you're going to have to put one in. The best way is, look, you just get an ass, a live one, stick it in behind the shower, and you run a pipe between the taps and its little pink assy udder. Well, everything's now set for Prince Harry to come and live in Australia as a happy and normal boy. I'm Simon Target for CNNNN.
And coming up in the next hour, auto-cue problems. You'll have to ad-lib. More on it coming up.
I'm Fungry. Buy Fungry's new pickle burger and get this free pickle refresher towelette. The perfect way to freshen up. They even rejuvenate your skin. Yet another reason why
I'm Fungry.
I'm Fungry.
Tomorrow morning on CNNNN for Kids, wake up with the Woggles, introducing the little uns to ethnic-based humour.
It was fully sick, mate.
You're never too young for riotous wog fun. That's the Woggles, tomorrow morning at 7 on CNNNN for Kids.
You're back with us live, and gentlemen, is it just me or are Telstra's services in the bush going from strength to strength?
Look, I know I've been critical of Telstra in the past, but I have completely come around on this. I don't know what it is that's different now, but I agree with you, Craig. I think Telstra's just doing a terrific job out there in the bush.
Which ties in with today's hot topic hotline. Telstra, great or great? Ring now and tell us what you think. And remember, $1 from every dollar of your call cost goes directly to Telstra.
And you know, I still can't believe that there's grumbling in the bush about the government's plans to sell off Telstra.
No, the government's made it perfectly clear it's not going to sell off the rest of Telstra until their satisfied rural services are up to scratch.
And what is the process from here?
Well, the government set up an independent inquiry.
Headed by a member of the National Party.
A completely independent member of the National Party.
And who decides if it actually is up to scratch?
The government does.
And who decides what the criteria is for being up to scratch?
Well, the government, but independently of itself.
Oh, OK. And who actually gets the money if it is sold off?
Well, the government again, but in an entirely independent capacity.
You see, Craig, there's 4 whole levels of independence there.
How do we know that?
Because it says so in this government press release.
Look, Craig, I really do think that you're getting bogged down in the detail on this one.
It's a hell of a lot simpler if you just have a look at Telstra's ads.
We are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australia.
Now tell me, did you see one person complaining in that ad?
I mean, think about it. If Telstra's prepared to spend that much money on an ad in the bush, you can only imagine how much money they spend on phone services out there. Do the math.
Well, to find out just how satisfied rural customers are, I went bush for Telstra as part of their Up to Scratch tour. G'day, mate. We're just on the Telstra Up to Scratch tour here. Just making sure everything's up to scratch out here in the country so we can sell it off. What do you reckon?
No.
It's all fine?
No. Half the phones don't work very far.
So half of them do work. It's up to scratch, don't you reckon? Doesn't seem to have a signal there, mate. What's the problem?
It's up to shit.
It's up to shit, is it? No, I think the term's up to scratch, not up to shit.
You can get any life out of that, mate. I'll walk to bird.
Can't blame Telstra for that, can you?
Come on. Well, it'd be nice to be able to complain on it.
You've got smoke signals still.
Smoke signals, that's up to scratch. Generally speaking, up to scratch?
A CDM phone will work right out in the middle of the intersection out there.
So it works in the middle of the road?
Yeah. Look at that.
That's up to scratch, isn't it? Surely this town's small enough that if you really want to chat to someone, you can just yell out. Just making sure everything's all right out here in the bush so we can sell off Telstra. You reckon that's a good idea?
If I was asked to vote on it, I would oppose it.
Well, that's why we're not going to ask you to vote for it.
Is that right?
The thing is, this phone works in the city, so it must be something wrong with the way you're using it.
Take the bastard back with you.
Take the bastard back to the city with me. Everything's up to scratch?
Not really. Don't give any service. You can never get repairs when they break down.
You know anything good to say for Telstra so we can put it into the Commission of Inquiry?
No.
Up to scratch.
How about that?
Thank you. Up to scratch. There you go, up to scratch. Telstra's talking about future-proofing the bush, right? Making sure that when we get out of here, it's future-proof. You guys don't have to worry. This is part of our future-proof kit to make sure that when we sell it off, you guys, you know, are happy out here. This could go one end of town to the other as long as you're in a small town. Compare that. The signal on that's perfect.
Well, I can hear that well.
Exactly. It's low radiation as well. There's not much cancer you can get from this one.
Bro.
Tell you what.
Hey, Dad.
Hey.
Hey, Dad.
Well, you can't blame Telstra for him being deaf, can you? I tell you what, if you want a conference call, we'll get you another one.
Oh, really?
There you go, future-proof. Look at that. Perfect. Now we can sell it off. Just smile for the camera because once we privatise it, you are never seeing us out here again, mate. We are gone. Bring on the full sale. That's the message from the bush. And still to come, AMA President Karen Phelps will be in the studio to harp on and on and on about her goddamn relationship.
CNNNN. You don't mess with what's right.
Rita and Lynn, the Hyper Twins! This week, Rita and Lynn face the terrifying Disabled Ones.
Touch us! Touch us!
Oh no! Disabled germs! Must pretend I don't see them!
Can Rita and Lynn make the deadly disabled ones disappear? Find out on
CNNNN for Kids!
Shaping the Minds of Tomorrow today. Get CNNNN for Kids on Channel 27, only on Chaser Cable.
Coming up on the Real-Time channel, it's Claymation Live. Every syllable, every painstaking move before your very eyes. Only on the Chaser Real-Time channel. Channel 49 on Chaser Cable.
You're back with CNNNN, and we're joined at the desk now by Charles Firth with an apology, I believe.
Yeah, last year I did a factor on Joanne Lee's that perhaps could have been taken the wrong way. If these hands were Joanne Lee's, how much blood would be on them? That's pretty bloody guilty. Now, I just want to make a few things clear. The words, "that's pretty bloody guilty," were not intended to imply that Joanne Lees was in any way involved in the murder of Peter Falconio. I apologise to Joanne for any misunderstanding. And Joanne, my offer's still on the table. An exclusive interview, including a dramatised reenactment of the murder.
So what have you cooked up for us tonight on The Factor?
Tonight, the environment. Greenies are always barking up the wrong tree. So the Firth Factor followed them up there to cut them down. I'm a great lover of the environment. My house is made of trees. And I love animals. But moronic greenies go way too far. They believe the environment should be untouched and that our way of life is destructive. But science is always finding ways to fix the things it screws up. Have you found a solution to global warming?
I'm working on a firmer breast enlargement.
Fair enough. You've got to prioritise. Despite what greenies say, there is an answer to our environmental problems. Globalisation. In the old days, to build a table, I would have had to have cut down the trees in my own backyard. But now, from Burma, my table's cheaper, I still get to keep my trees, and everyone winds up ahead. But not everything is right with the environment. Fossil fuels are precious, so we should stop sharing them with greedy animals. And we all love our beaches. But this kind of pollution is a huge eyesore that happens all around the world, which is why we need more whaling. And greenies are right about another thing. The environment should be shared. But not everyone can hang around hugging trees all day, living off government handouts. Which is why we need loggers to help bring a little bit of Mother Nature back to those of us who work for a living. As I always say, the environment's like a good bottle of red. You've got to consume it to enjoy it. That way, we can all enjoy the environment. And that's the Firth Factor.
I'm Fungry. Fungries is now recruiting. If you're under 12 years old, here's your chance to join the world's most popular family restaurant. Earn up to 20 cents an hour. You might even end up as Fungry's Mob Monkey of the Month. So join the Fungries family today and discover Fungry fulfillment. Yet another reason why I'm Fungry.
Tonight, Chaser Sports brings you all the action from day 10 of the World Masters Games. Can the men go under 4 minutes in the 100 metres? Will Eva reach the other end of the pool? And look who's a last-minute entry in the pole vault. All that and plenty more when the World Masters Games continue on Chaser Sports 8.
All right, time now to see what's happening in the rest of the world with Chris Taylor.
That's right, as once again we go around the world in 20 seconds. And today, 4 dead in Nepal, 7 dead in Colombia, up to 30 dead in Guatemala, 12 trapped, feared dead in Russia, people hurting quite a bit in Senegal, ongoing suffering in Bangladesh, widespread agony in Paraguay, incredible pain in Nigeria, a tragedy of some sort in Norway, and in Greece, a prize-winning pony brutally torn to bits. I'm Chris Taylor, more world analysis next hour.
To America now, and President Bush has won bipartisan support in Congress for an attack on Iraq.
Yes, now this comes after Bush tabled the hardest evidence yet on the links between Saddam and Al-Qaeda.
Both of them need to be dealt with. The war on terror, you can't distinguish between Al-Qaeda and Saddam when you talk about the war on terror. And so it's a comparison that is, you know, I can't make because I can't distinguish between the two because they're both equally as bad.
I mean, how can you argue with that? That is just compelling.
Certainly is, and with everything that man's done for peace, I cannot believe that he's been pipped for the Nobel Peace Prize by that clown Jimmy Carter.
Tell me about it. Bush would whip Carter in a peace fight.
Absolutely.
Who is Jimmy Carter?
Exactly. Who is Jimmy Carter? I mean, if you ask me, the Nobel Prize is a total sham. Everyone knows they're rigged, and the word around the office is that Jimmy Carter, the only reason he won is because he got all his office girls to fill out the form in Nobel Week.
Nobel Week. I mean, really, it has gone down market lately. It's just a boffin gossip rag, and the Nobel Peace Prize, no credibility at all anymore. I mean, look who came second last year. Lisa McCune.
To the European markets now, Chaz Licciardello joins us from Brussels. Sorry, we seem to have a technical problem there in Brussels. Well, to showbiz news now, and after the runaway success of musicals like Mamma Mia and The Boy from Oz, it seems more and more producers are turning to the old tunes to create the next big musical hit. Simon Tajay reports.
It was the song that took the world by storm. Now a West End musical is set to bring it to a whole new generation. Agadoo, the musical. Based on the 1984 hit by British supergroup Black Lace, Agadoo takes up where the song left off.
I always saw the potential of Agadoo. I know when I first made the original film clip, I found it terribly difficult to tell the story of this song in just 3 minutes. It's just such a powerful piece.
The story tells the tale of 2 young men, Aga and Doo, who travel to the mystical world of Agadoo. Where one of them falls in love with a beautiful princess called Agadoo.
My name is Agadoo.
Unfortunately, the evil wizard, Agadoo, ensures they will never be together unless they push a pineapple and shake a tree.
Push pineapple, grind coffee. Push pineapple, push pineapple, shake a tree. Shake a tree.
From the magical opening to the show-stopping finale and numerous encores, Agadoo is an emotional roller coaster.
It's an amazing thing. I know people who still can't listen to Agadoo without crying. It's just a tale everyone can relate to.
I'm Simon Tajay for CNNNN.
It looks like one to get along to, and word around the traps is that someone's working on the movie adaptation already of Agadoo. Now, I can't say too much, of course, at this stage, just 2 words. Baz Luhrmann.
In sport, the Pakistan cricket team remains in disgrace tonight after suffering its biggest ever defeat in the Test cricket last weekend.
Yeah, it's just a reminder of that humiliating scorecard.
Yeah, just look at it, 59 and 53, and most of those were sundries.
So, with the Pakistan team actually in a runs crisis, there's actually a real question mark over whether the 3rd Test can even go ahead.
But thankfully, some very generous Australians have offered to pitch in and help. Anna Skellon's down with them now.
Yes, thanks, Craig. Australians have turned out here in force, raising runs to send to Pakistan.
And by the looks of it behind you, there are a lot of runs being donated, Anna.
Plenty of 1s and 2s, and that That's a 4! Wonderfully generous. We'll send that over to Pakistan straight away.
And you know, it's amazing. For some of those Pakistani batsmen, that'll be the first time they've ever seen a 4.
We're all touched too by the story earlier of a young boy who came all the way from Cootamundra to donate 3 runs, Anna.
And he specifically asked for them to be sent to Pakistani opener Tawfiq to double his aggregate.
There's still a lot more runs needed, obviously, Anna.
Yes, but with everyone doing their bit down here, maybe, just maybe, we can raise enough runs for Pakistan to see the 3rd day of a test match.
Anna Skellen, thank you.
This is CNNNN.
Time now to check some of your emails. Julian?
Yes, and first up this. Where can I sign that petition to stop John Farnham from ever performing again? That's from G. Wheatley in Melbourne. And this email from John Mallard of Worley summed up many viewers' opinions. Please remove me from your distribution list.
Well, that's your say.
And I should just say, we've also had a lot of calls about that earlier story on Agadoo the musical. Now, the good news is that the original cast recording DVD is available. That's featuring all the show's hit tunes, from the beautiful love theme to the rousing climax.
Hours of wonderful listening there. And I read this week that the producers of Agadoo have begun work on their next project, Falconio, the opera.
There's just not enough outback tragedies adapted for the stage, are there?
Certainly not. And up next, anti-globalisation author Naomi Klein, live in the studio, talking about her new range of no-logo clothing.
CNNNN. We report, you believe.
Well, Naomi Klein has been derided as a 2-bit Canadian hack who sold out to the Murdoch-owned publishing house HarperCollins.
That concludes our live satellite feed of the 24-hour cable news channel CNNNN. We now return ABC viewers to their regular programming.